Hey guys, welcome to this tutorial. My name is ThaTimster. Today I'm going to be going over how to create Rubble for your games in the Blender game engine. So right here from the project FPS game, I have the Rubble that I used, and what I did is I just got a texture here from CG Textures, just got a mesh that looks something like this, and then along with that I just added a basic normal map which was generated from Insane Bump, and yeah, that was about it. So there wasn't much to it, however it didn't really look that great, especially when the lighting was off a little bit. So in this tutorial we're going to be doing it differently, but hopefully we'll still be getting a similar result, if not better. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So File New, open up a new blend file, and what we're going to do here is we're going to be using some cycles baking to make it look a little bit better than just a normal texture. So cycles render here, GPU compute if you have that option available, render to 100% doesn't really matter. And then with this cube here, I'm going to press S to scale, make it fairly large, then Shift A, add myself a sphere, then we'll go over into wireframe, press S to scale as well, so something like this, then hold down Shift, select the cube, Control P and parent. Then what we're going to do is go over to the user preferences, search up frac for fracture, and make sure you have self fracture enabled. So once you've done that, save user settings and then close that again. So now here in the toolbar we have a button for self fracture. So go ahead, select the cube by itself and click self fracture. We're going to use the child vertices here. Source limit, really up to you, can be anything. I'm just going to make it 700. Now the source limit here is the number of pieces, not the number of vertices. So 700 individual pieces, of course this won't be for the game, we're just baking it into the texture. Noise here to 1 as well, random, and you can add some recursion if you want. Make it a bit higher as well. And actually before we continue with this, what we have to do is give our cube here a texture. So to do that, what I'm going to do is go over here, Material tab, use nodes, and then from here go ahead and choose image texture. Now from here you can really open up any texture you want. I'm just using a basic concrete texture, although you could use rock or marble or something. It depends on the sort of rubble that you'd be using. Concrete's probably the most sort of universally applicable. So I'm going to make a new window here and then go to UV image editor, and then press Ctrl A, apply scale, tab, U, and Smart UV project. OK, select everything, S to scale, and make it nearly full size. Okay, something like that, so I'm happy with that. And then what we can do now is go to self fracture, same settings again, so 700, 1, recursion, random, and that should be about it. So move this over here so we can see what it's doing, and then click OK. So this will take a little while to sort of calculate everything, especially with the source limit here. But once it does, if you have show progress real time, you'll see it working and fitting the shape together. But once it's done, that will disappear, and on layer 2 we'll have our broken pieces. So what we're going to do is select this here and press X and delete. Same with this sphere, we no longer need them. Back on this layer here, now what you'll notice is if we pull one of these pieces out, the inside of it, the UVs and stuff are all broken. So what we're going to do is press Z to go into wireframe, A to deselect, B to box select, and select the whole thing. Then hold down Shift, select another piece till it's yellow, and press Ctrl J to join it all into one piece. Then what we're going to do is press Tab to go into edit mode, Z to make sure we're in solid view, A to deselect, and then I'm going to press numpad 1, numpad 5 to go into orthographic, face select mode, B, and box select. So essentially what we're doing is we're selecting all the outside faces that don't have messed up UVs, like these ones here, so numpad 3 to go into side view, then control numpad 1, back view, control numpad 3, numpad 7, this one, and control numpad 7. Now if you want to, you can zoom in and get a bit more accuracy on it. And then what we're going to do is press Control I to invert the selection, and so now we have all the broken ones selected. So we're going to press U and Smart UV project. So click that and OK. This again will take a while because there's lots of vertices for it to deal with. Once it's finished, it will look something like this. So in this window here, A to deselect, A to select everything, and make it fairly large. Also select concrete, so you have a bit of reference for each piece. Cool, so maybe something like that. So in edit mode, press A to select everything, and then P, and separate selection by loose parts. Again, this will also take a while just because of all the different pieces we have. Once it's finished though, press tab again, and you'll notice we have one problem, is that all of them have the same origin. So what we have to do is press A and then just select everything again. Go into the toolbar here, origin to geometry. There we go, and so now if we're going to texture view, you pull it away and the texturings are a little bit more balanced. Now what we're going to do is A, Z, and B, select all of it, press Ctrl and G. Now this here is going to be our group, so let's call it Rubble. Then what we're going to do, go over to layer 1, Shift S, cursor to center, Shift A, add a plane, and maybe scale it on the x-axis. Then go over here to the material panel and choose particles, click new and choose hair. Alright, advanced as well, and maybe 1500. I'll choose random, and here maybe a bit of random as well, random Brownian, random size up to 1, and then we'll scroll down, choose group, and then here choose Rubble. So pick random, rotation as well, and I think that should be about it. So now what we have to do is we'll turn up the size here so we get something a bit more reasonable. Press tab, W, and subdivide a couple times. Okay, and then back to weight paint, and then just paint down the middle here. Basically we just want a section just painted in the center. Cool, so now what we're going to do is go under vertex groups, density, and choose group. There we go, and so we'll turn down weight. So just keep dotting around the edges with weight at 0, just to give some more variation. Okay, so I'm fairly happy with that. Now what we're going to do is go back into object mode, go over to the settings here and click convert. So that will turn all our objects here, or our particle system, into real objects. So I'm going to select the plane here, X, and delete. Now you will notice there is quite a bit of overlap, so what I might do is go to select, random, and we'll go to maybe around 25 or 30, and then make sure the camera and the light aren't selected, and then you can just press X and delete. Alright, so I'm happy with that, and so now what we're going to do is press Shift A, add ourselves a plane, move it up the top here, and then press numpad 7, move it up, Z to go into wireframe, and numpad 7, move it over here with G, then tab, go into vertex, select, and we just want to cover the front of it. Alright, so basically just around the entire shape. E to extrude. Alright, back in here. E to extrude again. Alright. And we just basically keep doing this down the entire shape until all the gravel is covered. Alright, so here we're reaching the end of it, and what we want to do is one last one, and then just sort of seal it off. Alright, so what we want to do here is move it down underneath to relatively ground level sorta. Then I'm going to press tab, Control R, and we'll add some loop cuts, so maybe around 7 loop cuts. And then what we're going to do is go down here, select enable, and then just click on a random vertex here, and then GZ, and then scroll out as well, so we get a bit more movement. And so now basically what we're doing is just moving all the vertices above the remaining gravel. Alright, so I think I've got the majority of it sorted. What you can do now is just go ahead and select stray pieces and delete them out, just to make this process a little bit easier. Alright, so once you've deleted most of them, you might still have a couple, but it shouldn't really matter, it should be fine. So I'm going to select this main piece here and then smooth. And then what we're going to do is select it. First of all, press H to hide. And then we're going to press numpad 7, move the lamp over here, B to box select, actually Z, wireframe, and then select everything. And then we want to just select one block and then press Ctrl J, just join it all together. And then also tab to go into edit mode, A to select everything and then recalculate the normals, press Alt H to unhide. And then what we can do is select this, tab, and, well, first of all, origin to geometry, we can just do it here. And then we're going to press Ctrl A, apply scale, tab, A to deselect, A to select everything, U and unwrap. Alright, and I'm going to press R to rotate it, and we just want to get as much texture in as we can. Alright, so something like that. If you want to, you can also Smart UV project. Up to you, I'm just going to be using this here, so it's all in one texture. Then I'm going to press tab, go back to object mode, and here we'll give it a new material. Under here, choose image, and we'll make a new image. So press tab again, and then here click new. Let's just call it Rubble texture, and then click OK. And from here we can choose Rubble texture, and then what we can do is select this, hold down shift, select this. So first of all, select the rubble. Hold down shift, select the top layer, then go to the render settings and choose bake. And we'll do combined first of all, choose selected to active, and then click bake. So this here will take a while, again depending on the sort of efficiency of your computer and also the sampling that you have set up. So as you can see here, it's fairly average and it's probably quite grainy as well, so maybe I'll turn it up to 20. Now if you'd like to, you can add lighting. However, the problem with that is if it doesn't work with whatever scene you're trying to put it in. So if you'd like to, you can go ahead, select the lamp here, choose sun, use nodes, maybe give it a orangey hue, then go to the world, choose new, and maybe give it a blue color. Again, this is depending on your game world or whatever this rubble is going to be in. So select this and then bake. Oh, we need to select both objects. Now as you'll notice, we have some more lighting effects, so it does look a lot nicer, but again, this might not work. For example, if this was in bright daylight, it might not work so well because this is more of a sort of sunset color. So your safest option is just in the world settings here to do something gray like this, and then just remove the lighting completely. So there we go, and then just go ahead and render that out. So what we're also going to do is you'll notice the edges of it has sort of been flared out, so this margin here we're actually going to turn to nothing, and then go ahead and bake it again. Reason for that is we can actually use this alpha channel and apply that to our texture as well. So again, select rocks and select the plane and bake it. Alright, and there we go, we have our finished texture, which is looking pretty good. So now what you can do is go image and save as image, and then just go wherever you want to save it. So let's make a new folder, call it Rubble. Then open up the folder and let's choose RGBA, compression to full, and let's, instead of texture, make it diffuse. And then click save as image, and then what we can also do is bake the normals. So normals here, click bake, and there we go, we have those as well. So now what we can do is again save as image and then save it as normals. Oh, normals. Alright, compression to full, and I guess we only need RGB for this one. Then save as image. Now select this top layer here, the mesh, press Shift D to duplicate and move it across, and then blend a game, and then we'll go to the object settings here, get rid of the material, click new, turn off specular, then go over to the texture tab and click new, and from here we'll choose the diffuse first, so click open, go to the Rubble folder and then just choose diffuse here. Now what you also have to do is choose alpha and go down over here and choose transparency, turn it to nothing, and best of all is probably alpha clip. Okay, then over here shading, GOSL. Alright, and then also we need some normals, so again scroll up the top here, add another texture, and from here click open, go to our folder and choose normals. Alright, and so from here turn off color, choose normals, image sampling, normal map, and maybe 0.9, and then if we go ahead and add ourselves a lamp and move it over here, turn up the sort of brightness, and then the great thing with this is because we've baked the normals, they look fairly realistic. Now also, if that isn't sort of enough rubble for you, what you can do is just duplicate it, move it down underneath, RZ 180, so rotate it 180 degrees, and then you've got twice as much rubble now. So there we go, that's how to generate a rubble texture for your games in the Blender game engine. It's a little bit different to the original method, but I think this method works a bit better because you have a bit more control, whereas with the other texture it really just depended on the environment which the picture was taken in. Now if you want to, you can also add things like specularity and stuff from cycles and just bake that over, but again that's up to you and the sort of lighting you have. So there we go guys, that's the end of this tutorial. If your one didn't work out, I guess I'll have a finished.blend down in the description below, so you can go ahead and download it. So if you enjoyed this video or found it useful, feel free to leave a like, comment or share down below. All that stuff would be greatly appreciated. If you'd like to stay updated, feel free to subscribe as well. But apart from that, hope you enjoyed the video, have an awesome week, and I'll see you guys in the next one.